Skill. Shadow extraction has leveled up. Form change. No mana required. Suho's confidence surges. He feels the raw strength of his fists return, enhanced and sharper than ever. Suho's fists crash into Fang. Each hit a thunderous impact that shakes the ground beneath them. Stone fragments explode with every strike. Fang's armor splintering under the relentless assault. Baru's eyes are locked onto Suho, absorbing the raw intensity that radiates with each movement. His thoughts flash to the monarch, the one who infinitely transcends levels, standing at the pinnacle, freely controlling shadows without restraint. The monarch's power dwarfs all, wielding his shadows like an unbreakable, unstoppable force. In contrast, Suho, new to this raw authority, is at the level of an ant larva. Barely hatched, yet already pushing boundaries no one has shown him. Baru doesn't just see a fight, he sees Suho's rise. Each punch is a statement, each move pushing Fang further back, Suho driving the pace with unyielding aggression. Suho's gauntlet pulse. He's not just here to battle, he's here to assert his will and crush anything that stands in his way. For Baru, the truth is undeniable. Suho's not living in his father's legacy. He's forging his own. He's not just surviving the fight, he's reshaping it, making it his own. Fang stumbles, his defenses crumbling, struggling against the relentless force of Suho's onslaught. His form wavers, crushed under the sheer might of Suho, a monarch rising with every blow. Suho looms over Fang, fists still primed, ready to end it. Fang is left gasping, his form broken under Suho's unrelenting force. Suho's fist crashes into Fang, a shockwave tearing through the battlefield. The ground splits, debris flies, and Fang's armor crumbles under the onslaught. Fang is thrown back, skidding across the shattered ground. Suho calls on his weapons, shadows twisting and locking into place, wrapping tight like a vice, lethal and precise, an extension of his intent. The young monarch, Baru thinks, feeling the raw potential unleashed before him. Suho's not just fighting, he's pushing beyond his limits. Every strike a statement of intent. Fang's defenses crumble, his arms severed under Suho's relentless assault. Baru knows Suho isn't waiting for anyone's validation. He's carving his own path. Suho stands over Fang, shadows coiling around his fists like living extensions of his intent. Baru hovers nearby, masking his worry with bravado, pretending like he never doubted Suho for a second. But Suho sees through it, brushing it off with a knowing smirk. Suho clenches his gauntlet tighter, feeling the new power coursing through him. Not a bad haul, he muses, his eyes locked on his own shadow-wrapped form. The quest notification pops up, and without hesitation, Suho accepts. A reward materializes, a runestone glowing with the promise of untapped power. Skill, Storm Slash. Suho's grin widens. It's exactly what he needed. He can feel the instinctive pull of the skill, the wind ready to bend to his command. He stands tall, the energy of Storm Slash whipping around him, stirring the air with a dangerous edge. Let's give it a whirl, he says, more to himself than anyone else, ready to unleash the storm he's now holding at his fingertips. Meanwhile, Fang's weapon lies discarded, his mind burning with humiliation. Defeated by the Shadow Monarch's blood, Suho has done what he swore he wouldn't allow, but Fang's fury doesn't wane. He refuses to be dismissed so easily. Suho grips Raken's Fang, feeling the weapon's dark pull. The blade hums with dangerous energy, a constant whisper of power and hunger. Fang's presence lingers, vengeful, promising ruin to any who dare to wield it. But Suho doesn't flinch. He's felt worse. He snatches the blade without hesitation, ignoring the sinister aura that wraps around his arm. The weapon's dark energy surges, but Suho's grip only tightens, asserting control. A notification pings. Item: Raken's Fang acquired. The blade feels right in his hand. Deadly, sharp, perfect for a rising monarch. Fang's disbelief is almost palpable. The weapon, once untamed, now bends to Suho's will, its threats hollow against his resolve. He moves with purpose, feeling Kandiaru's blessing fortify his body, strengthening him, sharpening his focus. Suho activates Storm Slash, and the air howls around him, infused with his command. Wind slices through the battlefield like blades, shredding stone and earth with each swing. The ground splinters beneath him, the force of his strikes tearing through the chaos. Suho examines the aftermath of his attack, mana still pulsing through his veins. The power of Storm Slash is undeniable, but it's a drain on his reserves. A trade-off he's willing to make for its destructive force. Baru buzzes beside him, hyping up shadow extraction like it's the pinnacle of power, infinitely more impressive than anything else. Meanwhile, the scrub teacher groans awake, dazed and useless as always. The teacher stumbles, disoriented, clutching his head, the reality of his own weakness sinking in. The teacher mumbles, clueless and lost as usual. Suho's already moving, barely glancing back. Long story, Hyung. I'll explain on the way out. He grabs the flailing teacher, dragging him along like baggage. The contrast between the two painfully clear. They step out into daylight, the quiet of the city park broken only by the chaos left behind. Suho scans the area. I'll check for other survivors. It's not a question, it's a leader's command. The teacher barely manages a nod, struggling to keep up. Suho approaches the portal. The teacher watches, a mix of envy and disbelief clouding his mind. An E rank with a summoning skill. Yet here, Suho stands, leagues beyond him. How is Suho so strong? The teacher wonders, his thoughts swirling in confusion. The teacher watches from the sidelines, surrounded by the survivors Suho saved, each one a testament to the power that he sorely lacks. The thought hits him like a punch. He's useless, a spectator in his own profession. Suho, once the kid in his class, now a savior. And him, just a guy in the way. The air shifts as a pack of wolf-type beasts emerge, snarling and rabid. Suho's already moving, his shadow bending around him, fists glowing with lethal intent. He dives into the fray, a blur of speed and raw strength. Fangs snap and claws tear, but Suho's relentless, carving through the pack like they're nothing. Each beast falls in a heartbeat, defeated and adding to Suho's experience. The system's confirmation rings out, almost mocking how easy this all looks for him. Suho barely breaks a sweat, each kill precise and calculated. Baru hovers, noting the remaining beasts still lurking inside the dungeon. It's all free experience, ripe for the taking. But something's off. Suho's strikes feel dulled, his power fluctuating. His eyes narrow on Raken's fang, the blade defiant, refusing to bend to the will of a Shadow Monarch's bloodline. The spirit within, Rakan, bristles, mocking Suho's control. He checks the weapon's stats, reading through its effects. Disdain for the weak and critical wound. Abilities geared for domination, but conditional, flawed. Baru, ever observant, calls it out, condemning the sword's nature. An ability used against the weak, a coward's tool. But Rakan's spirit doesn't care for the critique. What hunter would target stronger prey? It taunts, unapologetic in its savage intent. Suho scans the shattered dungeon, chaos echoing in the silence left behind. A minecart overflowing with shattered crystals sits nearby, untouched, yet surrounded by death. In the pit below, the remains of armored adventurers lay scattered, blood darkening the rocky floor. Their last moments were brutal and brief, unforgiving reminders of this world's cruelty. Suho's expression tightens. They came in hoping to plunder the dungeon, but all that greeted them was a savage end. Baru hovers beside him, his normally smug demeanor dulled by the scene. They all died, he states flatly, a cold confirmation of what Suho already knows. Raken's fang, ever defiant, resonates in Suho's grip. I guard the sanctuary of the Monarch of Fangs, the blade declares, unapologetic and unwavering. It's not remorse, just cold, unfeeling duty. The sword's only purpose is to slay intruders, and it's damn good at it. But Suho's not here for a debate. With a sharp, annoyed twist, he forces the sword to silence. Suddenly, a notification flickers into view. Shadow extraction may be used on this target. Beru's words cut through the haze, reminding him that any corpse, no matter its origin, can be turned into a soldier. It's a blunt, tempting power, but Suho knows better. He reaches out but hesitates, his hand hovering above the bloodied remains. The dungeon's dim light reflects off his outstretched fingers, trembling slightly with the weight of choice. Shadow extraction could bring them back, but at what cost? These were once people, not just soldiers, and even in death, they deserve peace. Baru and Raken's fang watch in stunned silence as Suho hauls the dead back up the path, refusing to strip them of their dignity. Suho's question about the monarchs hangs heavy between them. 9 monarchs, connected to the Eterum, the enemies of his father, enemies of the world. It's all too much, a tangled web of old grudges and looming threats. This is more than just a history lesson. It's the unveiling of a brutal hierarchy. His father, the great Sung Jinwoo, looms large as the monarch of shadows, the king who shattered the balance of power, who crushed 8 monarchs beneath his relentless will. The monarchs of fangs, plagues, iron body, white flames, their titles alone radiate menace, each a ruler of their own twisted domain. The king of giants, the monarch of frost, the spectral ruler of transfiguration, each one an indomitable force that once stood against his father. Raken's fang, driven by rage, claims its own vendetta against the shadow monarch. The blade gleams with residual power, but it's dulled by time, its edge longing for revenge it can never exact. Suho's mind races. His father, who wiped out these impossibly powerful beings, had his reasons, just as Rakan had his. Two sides of the same coin, both fighting to protect what they held dear. In this still moment, Suho makes a choice. He doesn't see enemies, only guardians, warriors who fought. And now, standing in the remnants of